Hello, good morning all. Wishing everyone a very, very happy Friday. You're watching Love in Dubai show with me, Simran.
And Misha here.
And today we'll be taking you through all the top trending stories, starting with Dubai's most expensive villa worth 280 million dirhams has just been sold.
And a man has been arrested within 25 minutes for stabbing his roommate.
Oh my God, that's alarming. Now we'll also be talking about the UAE is being deemed as the most recovered country from the pandemic.
And Dubai school fees, there will be no more shocks as to why those prices are getting so high.
Yeah, and that's thanks to a fact sheet. But first, Shahir, I have a question for you because we were watching videos this morning and we were talking about weddings. And what is the one thing at every wedding the audience or the guests are asked?
A toast?
Okay, no. Like,
Oh no, you're talking about the objections.
Yes.
Yes.
So when a couple are getting married, the officiator always asks the audience, do we have any objections? If you have any objections, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Which never really lasts forever. Which led us to think, does anyone really say anything?
Right?
No one ever says anything.
It's awkward.
But is it? If you know that one of the two individuals has done something shady, or you don't like that person, or they're just sketch in general.
Or you're in love with the person who's about to get married.
Okay, that's a sequel to a movie. But do you feel like you're able to be vocal about your concerns and why you object to the two couples?
It's like, I object. Okay, why? You know,
literally. I never thought about that. What happens after? You have to explain yourself in front of everyone. Is it worth it? Are you going to spill all the beans?
Exactly.
Do you know something that everyone else doesn't?
Yeah, that's so true. And I mean, if you have stage fright to get up in front of all those guests and like actually voice why you have an objection, it's stressful.
You will always be remembered as that one person that ruined a wedding. All that money spent for nothing. All that time to prepare. If it was a location wedding, boy, you're in trouble.
Oh my God, that is so true.
Imagine.
You will be the person who ruined the wedding.
Are you going to cover the costs?
Like, what could have been?
I mean, there is...
all because of that one person who objected, everything just fell apart.
At the same time, if you know that someone was up to no good or doing something shady, you are protecting the other individual.
But would you wait till the wedding, right when they're at the altar, to spill the beans?
Well, I guess that's like a last moment thing, you know? This is your final moment, or forever hold your peace, which fast forward to 2 months later and you get a WhatsApp message saying, hey, so about your wedding and about you being happily married, there's this thing, you know, so...
Have you seen Gossip Girl?
Yeah, the original?
Yeah, obviously the original.
Oh, yeah, I did not see the reboot also.
Anyway, but
the fashion's good in the reboot.
If you think objections at weddings, don't you think of the moment when Blair was at the altar with the prince, and then everyone gets that message from Gossip Girl of the video when she's just declaring her love for Chuck? That was the ultimate objection.
I don't remember that, but that does seem very Gossip Girl, and that is the ultimate. That's a broadcast. That's not an objection.
That is like the ultimate kind of objection. Like the person stays anonymous, and the objection is out in the open, and it's self-explanatory. So I mean that is the
That's
ultimate.
not cool. Wow, Dan Humphries, was that his name?
It wasn't Dan. It was Georgina at the time.
No way. Oh, take it over. They had shifts. I don't remember. Georgina's the sister, right?
No, Georgina's not the sister. Georgina, then Serena had Gossip Girl for some time.
Wow, I don't remember this show.
Oh.
All I know is that the reboot is very timely and has sick fashion sense. That's all.
But the plot, no, doesn't match up.
The plot is very CW. That's all I'll say.
Anyway, guys, do let us know if you had objections during a wedding. Would you voice them? Would you keep them to yourself?
Are you a bad person for voicing it? Are you a bad person for not?
But what if you're really in love with the person? That is my.
Well, that's on you. You should have worked harder.
Yeah.
Going back to our last conversation about doing everything you wanted to catch someone's conversation. Remember when I was last on the show, Simon and I were talking about all the great lengths you'd go to get someone's attention.
Oh my God. And we would go to some great lengths to get that person.
Some more than others.
We'll start with our first story. Now, Dubai's expensive villa worth 280 million dirhams has just been sold. Now, can anyone really keep up with real estate in Dubai? 1 minute, the most expensive villas get sold for 185 million dirhams, and suddenly it's not the most expensive anymore. And that's because luxury real estate broker Connor McKay just beat that sale. Now, luxury real estate agency Bellevue Real Estate is celebrating smashing the record for Dubai's most expensive property, which sold for a whopping 280 million dirhams. This property, oh my God, indeed. This property in question is custom built, 33,000 square feet, and it's a villa on Palm Jumeirah.
The custom built 280 million villa has 10 bedrooms, 7-star spa hotel facilities, a gym, a hair salon, Italian marble interiors, and furniture from Getter and Mimoto. Many transactions came close to beating the previous long-lasting record of 185 million, but none came close to the 280 million.
A huge price tag on a villa.
It's next level.
And it's all the Blue Waters properties, all the Palm Jumeirah properties that always come up to this price point. So I mean, like, if you know anyone living there, they're pretty much loaded.
And if you know that they're throwing a soiree, please invite me as your +1. But what shocked me is, okay, Italian marbles and stuff, probably Calcutta, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But 7-star spa, what does that even entail? Where are the 2 extra stars coming from? I'm so confused.
That's true. When I heard that, I'm just like, okay, 7-star.
7 stars.
That's interesting. What do they get apart from the haircut? And I mean, anyway. Because they have a salon as well. So what does a mansion this expensive have other than what Shahir said? Well, state-of-the-art living space, 7-star spa, of course, as we just mentioned, including a gym and a hair salon, imported and hand-picked book-matched Italian marble, all furnished by Uber Lux Italian Furniture. And of course, let's not forget, it comes with more than 70 meters of a private beach. Oof.
That makes all the difference, by the way. I was gonna say,
beach.
like, in California, Hidden Hills, Beverly Hills, all these places, there are places for like 40 million.
Yeah.
If you want Setting Sunset, they're half the price. But a lot of places are made to look next level, right? And have a crazy number attached to it. But when you have a 70 square meter beach
like
in front of you,
private beach access,
that makes all the difference.
It really does.
I'm pretty sure this equates to 60 million US dollars, which a lot of places are just literally houses for that much. But 7-star spa, a salon, a gym, And
It's
the
got
private
all
beach.
yeah, all the facilities you could want. I mean, they don't have a sauna. That's kind of concerning.
They probably do, and
Probably do,
they
yeah.
can add it. I'm pretty sure you can afford to add it. But wow, some people are living lavish.
You know, in Selling Sunsets, there was a scene where the person is just like, they wanted to come and buy a villa, and they're just like, oh my God, because you stage the
Yeah.
apartment or you stage
With
the villa with
furniture.
yeah, exactly, furniture and accessories, and the person is like, okay, so I want to redo all of this. I want to change this, and maybe I don't want this furniture. Is it going to be more? Is it going to be not as expensive? Will the price come down? And then when they have like the part where the agents are talking to the camera, they're just like, they can afford 100 million villa, but they can't afford 20,000 when it comes to like $20,000 when it comes to like just putting the furniture.
Speaking of Selling Sunset, do you remember what's her name? I forgot her name.
Christine,
No, her friend.
Rochelle,
No.
Mary,
No.
Davina.
Davina tried selling the $70 million house,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
And it was literally just a house with a backyard and a pool and like really expensive pieces of furniture.
Yeah.
That was the same price as
And it
this.
didn't sell. It didn't sell.
And it didn't sell. But this, you have a private beach. I'm not over that. I've only just come to find out that there was a private beach. But my point is, you get more for your money anywhere else. That's not California.
That's true. I mean, it's a huge flex to call your friends over and go like, oh, let's just head out to the beach in my backyard.
Oh, no. You don't need to pack anything. I literally have everything in my beach house.
Oh, imagine.
And the broker must be living his life.
With that commission.
Honestly, must be so happy. The commission and setting a record in Dubai.
Yeah, let's send Connor to Los Angeles and get him to sell what Davina couldn't.
Yeah.
He probably
Or Connor,
could.
you could just come on the show. We'd like to get to know more about how much you're
Tips
willing.
and tricks. Maybe we
How
should
much
get
you
into
would-
real estate, no?
You know what? It's not the
good
worst.
money.
I honestly thought I would get into real estate, but then I thought I'd just be too depressed looking at beautiful houses all the time.
That is so true. When you put it that way, okay, it's not for us. It's not for us.
not.
Yeah, anyway.
Moving on. What also isn't for us is a roommate that's willing to stab you. So a man has been arrested within 25 minutes for stabbing his roommate. Now, we've all lived with questionable people in the past, and we've had our fair share of disputes with our roommates, but this guy gets the cake. So after a dispute that he had with his roommate, a man stabbed his roommate multiple times with attempting to murder him, essentially, over financial dispute.
Okay.
What?
Honestly.
Over money?
It's taking me a second to register this, but that's insane. Like, yeah, over financial disputes, like resorting to violence of the level where you want to literally murder someone.
Like, who does that?
Yeah.
So, the Al Qusais police CID team rushed to the scene after receiving a call that a 32-year-old Asian worker had fled the scene after stabbing his roommate, and within 25 minutes of the crime, the man in question was captured.
Now, the man was found with his clothing filled with blood and confessed to the crime, but also admitting to throw away the knife. By the time the authorities got to the victim, he was in critical condition and was rushed to the Rashid hospital. And that is so concerning and scary, honestly. I mean, I stay with roommates and I've had like a year. I mean, like in the last 2 years, I've changed multiple roommates and it is so alarming. You just don't know who you're going to end up getting stuck
That's the
with, their
thing.
personalities and all those things. So
That's my biggest concern. Like, I've always lived with friends, so it was always a calm situation, you know? Like, you'd have fights, but one of my roommates I had for 4 years was my childhood friend when we were living in England together, and it was completely fine. We had our arguments, but we were like brothers. But to get to the point where you're stabbing someone, and me and my friend had financial disputes too.
Yeah.
Like, we'd always borrow money from each other and make it a thing, you know? And it wouldn't even be that much, but no one was stabbing anyone. And it's really scary that
yeah,
when you don't know who you're living with,
that is true.
you don't know what you're basically exposing yourself to. That's a really scary part.
But of course, if you are getting roommates, there are so many ways, not so many, there are a number of ways you can protect yourselves, like drop a contract, make sure everything is transparent when it comes to the rent and financial stuff. And, you know, personally, I always have the thing of like not borrowing or lending with friends because it just gets messy at a point. right? I don't know. That's personal. Personally, what I think.
I agree to an extent. Like, so the roommate that I was talking to you about, we were like brothers, so it was completely fine. Like, the
Yeah.
money was coming from the same place. Like, we were completely fine with like
Oh,
how we
okay.
lived with each other, you know?
Okay.
So it was completely cool. But like, I don't think,
You were like brothers or you were brothers?
no, we were like brothers. I've known
Okay.
him my whole life, you know?
Okay.
So like, I'm pretty sure if I gave him £10, like I knew I'd get it back. And if
Yeah.
I didn't, and it was the end of the month, then we'd have an issue.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's true, like you don't know what you're exposing yourself to, and it is kind of hard lending and borrowing money from people. Because then you get to the awkward stage where it's like, I'm broke, I need this money, but I don't want to
Yeah.
ask. Why can't you just give it back to me? So that does
That's what-
happen.
I feel like it is a messy situation, and that too, if you're moving to a new country and you're starting a new life and you're moving in with people you don't know, you just have to make sure you have contracts in place to protect yourself if and when times like this arise, like situations like this arise. So you want to make sure you're prepared for them. But we'll move on to our next story now. The UAE is being deemed as the most recovered country from the pandemic. Now, this may not come as a shocker, but the UAE has proved once again that with visionary leadership, cooperative residents, and patient citizens, a country can thrive like no other. One major proof of this is the fact that the Emirates has been deemed as the travel industry's most recovered country in 2022. Now, this was revealed by a global report by travel technology company Travelport that indicated the country has recovered to 110% of its 2019 pre-pandemic levels. Ooh, indeed. Now, when the world says the UAE is known to have several aces up its sleeves, this is what they mean, and ain't no bluffing when it comes to the Middle East, this Middle Eastern country.
So Dubai ranks as the second most recovered city in the Middle East and the fifth most recovered globally. The following cities around the world have bounced back the fastest in terms of tourism. So there's the Dominican Republic with 136%, Jamaica with 102%, Mexico with 124%, Saudi Arabia with 115%, and the UAE with 114%.
Yeah. So earlier this week, Dr. Thani bin Ahmed Al Zayudi disclosed that Expo 2020 in Dubai helped to accelerate the recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and achieve growth in all economic sectors. Now, of course, we know that apart from Expo 2020 Dubai, which was the biggest factor in the bounce back in terms of tourism and economy and all of that, it's also all these other international events that we held, like GITEX, and award ceremonies and all of that. So the UAE, especially Dubai, was like the leading city to host these events and take it on board. Like, you know what, we will take the initiative, we'll, make sure we will use our facilities, come over to our city, use all of that. So
and
it's paid off.
Everything was done with such thought
And
extreme,
precaution.
exactly. There was an extreme level of thought and precaution put in place.
Yeah.
Expo was the biggest event to happen in the world in the longest time. And
That too during a pandemic.
exactly. And it was done with such smooth sailingness, you know?
Yeah.
Like we were completely fine. We wore masks the entire time. What's crazy to me is that all my friends in New York or London or wherever they are were like, so you guys still wear masks? And I'm like, yes, we still wear masks. Numbers aren't that high, but still we're super responsible, and it literally comes down to great leadership and being a visionary.
Exactly.
To where you understand what is needed to keep the citizens safe.
And back in 2020, Sheikh Mohammed, he announced to the world that, you know what, the UAE will be one of the fastest countries to recover from the pandemic. And just see that it's literally visionary, that kind of leadership and ambition that really bears fruit. And like you said, other countries have just removed mask wearing altogether, but we're doing it in phases.
Exactly.
So making sure that we're better safe than sorry.
You said it. And with the countries that have disregarded masks for a while now, you can see the fluctuation in COVID cases and how it's affected people, the economy, just like being able to go out and do stuff, because it was never a prolonged period of time where people felt like they were safe enough to be doing all these things.
Yeah, exactly. True.
But
Feel that.
once again, the UAE has done it. Moving on to our next story. So Dubai school fees, there will no longer be any shocks thanks to a brand new fact sheet. So we are introducing to you the Dubai School Fact Sheet System. So the Knowledge and Human Development Authority is introducing a document that will give parents of private schools the comprehensive and reliable information as to where the school fees are going. It's a one-page sheet that includes all the fees at a school and that they may be charging throughout the academic year. So there will be no more scary charges lurking around the corner.
Thank God for that, because I know how concerning it is for parents just to see those pop-up fees coming out of nowhere, like, oh, we have to pay for this, we have to pay for this. Like, it's quite annoying for parents.
Super scary.
Yeah. And in a statement by the Director General of KHDA, Dr. Abdullah Al-Karam, he clarified that Dubai is committed to supporting an environment that enables parents, students, and schools to engage with each other and make choices based on clear information. And I respect so much that Dubai always takes all the steps to make sure things are transparent to the public, to consumers, to stakeholders. So I love that the KHDA is rolling this out as well to make things so transparent to parents and students as to what is happening in the school and what you're being charged for.
100%. And private schools aren't cheap. A lot more goes into it. A lot more finances, a lot more thought goes into putting your children in the right school.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to send them to a private school, you're sending them there for a better education, for a safer environment, and for them to get the best outcome post middle school, high school, and primary school.
Exactly. Oh my God.
And I remember the school that I went, each year they'd be like an increment or an increase in the prices, and I would never understand why. I'd never get why school fees are randomly going up.
Increasing, yeah. And as you
the higher the grade,
the higher the fees,
higher the price tag.
Oh my God.
But now parents will have complete transparency. All the canteen food, the gas for the bus, everything is going to be clarified in this one document.
Yeah.
So when you're considering putting your child into a brand new school or shifting them to another school or just like putting them into school for the first time, you know exactly what that school is representing, where the money is going, and it just gives clarity. It's exactly the transparency that they need to make the best informed decision for themselves, their children, and the future of their children.
Very true. Do you want to list out the number of expenses parents have to undertake when they send their kids to school?
So the school fees itself,
bus transport fees,
food,
field trips,
after school activities,
camping.
Wait, you said 2, so that's 6. Camping?
Like when they go on.
I never went.
You never went camping? Like those camping.
It was to Fujairah and I've just never been.
Dibba, Fujairah, Duke of Edinburgh.
My brother went, but I didn't go.
Wow. Why? And then the field trips to countries abroad.
Oh, school uniform. Field trips to countries abroad. It's books.
Online registration websites, things like that.
Wow, children are expensive.
Right?
All for your child to have the best outcome.
Of course, yes.
So this is exactly what each and every parent needs. And it literally will lead you to making the best decision for you and your child.
And hopefully your child turns out peachy after their teen angst years and, just a return on the investment.
Literally. I want to know what the ROI?
Return on investment.
RIO?
ROI, no. It's ROI.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, weekend brain, because it is the weekend tomorrow. What is the weekend today or tomorrow? It's the weekend tomorrow.
And by the way, how fast has this week flown by?
Surely, personally, I felt like it was quite long, and that too with Ramadan timings, everyone getting used to it.
You felt it was long?
Yeah, I really did.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's a personal thing, but you thought it was short? It passed by quite quick.
Yeah, I feel like it's still a Tuesday. But I'm not complaining. I want the 2 days off. But honestly, I don't know. It might just be every day during Ramadan feels like a celebration.
Yeah.
With the gatherings and the food.
Yeah.
So not that I have anyone to gather with or any food to consume.
You have your cat.
Which I cannot stand, by the way.
Okay, this is a conversation for another day. But for today,
that's it from us.
That's it from us. See you
wash your hands.
Same time?
Same time, same place next week, not throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Wash your hands, take a shower. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem, guys, and have a great weekend. Bye.